it's not so much about which market you should invest in, but really it's the type of property that you should invest in.
Who's this? Oh, you're an entrepreneur? Oh, you're a real estate investor. Oh, you're trying to learn from those who did it. Well, come into the lab then. Put your white coat on, gloves on, notepad, and let's build, y'all.
Experimentation, what is going on? Your hosts, Ruben Kanya here of the Real Estate Experiment. So we're currently in the lab, and I have to take this opportunity to answer one of the most frequently asked questions that have come up in the lab, because I believe in recording content that generates with the people who are also practitioners in their own lab. So when I get common questions, it lets me know that you're thinking about processes and systems, and most importantly, taking action, which I can truly appreciate. So with that said, let's talk about a frequently asked question. You know that we've been doubling down in the midterm rental insurance space. It's been a very strong run. I shouldn't call it a run, because that seems like a run can seem as if it's, by luck or something like that. But really, it's strategic, and it's all about optimization. So the number one question that I've been receiving as of late is, which market is the best for MTRs? Now, that a great answer has to start with a question. Say yes. So, with that being said, the question I would ask is, why should the market matter for you? Now, there's a few things with that question of why should the market matter for you. Really, what I'm asking is, the reason you're asking that question is because of the framework that you have with the way you traditionally analyze deals. But very similar to the way a traditional investor would pick a market, obviously markets matter. Um, it's like almost asking the question as, where do I buy a short-term rental? Now, the reality is there's a lot of data out there um, when it comes to short-term rentals, where you should buy, where you shouldn't buy, uh, where the numbers are the best, um, where you know the numbers, whether it's vacation versus short-term rental versus midterm rental. Now, I'll flip the question back on you and ask it this way. It's not so much about which market you should invest in, but really it's the type of property that you should invest in. Now, the reason I say that is because very similar to short-term rentals, midterm rentals, especially when talking about insurance, not talking about the travel nurses, etc. That's a niche of its own. We're talking about midterm rental insurance homes. It's property centric, not market centric. Now, what that means is you're not competing with anybody when you're optimizing for the midterm rental insurance space. The reason I say that is because most people don't operate midterm rental, or at least target midterm rental insurance contracts the way you're going to, or the way we do. Therefore, they don't even show up on the radar when it comes to competition. I'll give you an example. When a relocation specialist who works for on behalf of the insurance agency, call it State Farm or Allstate, is looking to relocate a family of, I always use the sweet spot, family of 5 with 2 pets, call them 2 dogs, their options become very limited very quickly. And that is because there's not enough midterm rental insurance operators who make themselves available. Now, it's not by bad faith that they don't make themselves available. It's just because they don't know any better, right? So what that means is when I'm a relocation specialist and I'm looking for properties, there's two obstacles that I face, right? I should say three obstacles. But number one is I'm looking for availability. And unfortunately, or I should say fortunately for us, is there's two types of operators out there. There's the traditional long-term rentals. I'm looking for a 12-month lease. Then there's the other, typically with that comes that, and also my property's not furnished. So that's an obstacle. It's not a problem. It's an obstacle that they have to overcome. Therefore, they're now required to expand their search a little further. And if they choose to go to a site like Furnished Finder or on Zillow Rental Manager, where some folks are in the short-term rental space but are not quite fully optimized for midterm rentals, what they will find is while there are furnished homes and furnished accommodations, they're just not available to host a family or house a family for the next 3 months. Why? Because they're too busy trying to get booked. They're trying to fill their calendars to generate cash flow. They're operating in the short term rental model. You might have a booking next weekend, then the weekend after that. Then maybe they're not booked that following weekend, but then they're booked that next month. So when I'm filtering and I'm looking, obstacle number one, you don't even come up in my search because you're unavailable, right? Right. So, or you're looking for terms that are just way out there, right? 12-month lease, can't do 12 months, only need 3 months. You're stubborn, you don't want to do 12 months, that's okay. More opportunities for us. So that's one. And I don't mean stubborn, but it's really just not knowing any better that there's families out there that are in need of less than 12 months. And it's very traditional, be like, let me slap a 12-month lease on my home. Just because maybe that is what I'm looking for. But we're looking for maximized cash flow. So therefore, we don't do 12-month leases. And that's why we furnish our homes. So now, with the obstacle of trying to find potentially a rental for the family, they're facing 12-month leases. Then they go to furnished accommodation platforms and they see scattered calendars. There's one more caveat or one more obstacle that they're facing. Any guesses? Experiment Nation, you've heard the word MTR, midterm rentals, as it is currently a hot topic and hot commodity right now because, again, there has been an increase in short-term rental regulations, and there also has been, let's face it, a slowdown in what we were experiencing a couple years back when it comes to bookings. So with that said, short-term rental operators are looking for alternative solutions to tap into the midterm rental space. However, there is a sub niche of midterm rental insurance that I'm truly excited about, that I want to share with you, that the experience that we've had, the tremendous results we've been able to have, and that's the insurance midterm rental space, which is very different than your traditional midterm rentals. When you think of traditionally midterm rentals, you think of travel nurses. There is a space, midterm rental insurance space, that we've tapped in, where you need to be well connected with insurance and relocation specialists and companies and understand the right type of asset required for you to be able to help these families. What's really important that stands out the most, which you can get in what I'm about to offer you, is the understanding where to be found by these insurance companies, how to properly manage your calendar so that your listings are optimized so that they can find you, how to actually gain traction and build a relationship with these relocation insurance companies. I've put together an MTR insurance blueprint. That's MMT insurance blueprint to cover these foundations after we've had success landing very large contracts on single family homes that literally 4x what we traditionally make in long-term rentals, and also gives us peace of mind because there's less turnover and 100% occupancy, because these contracts can start anywhere from 30 days to 3 months to 8 months and range anywhere from, again, we've landed anywhere from $8,000 to $9,000 a month in per month on a single family home property, which our mortgages are typically around the 2,400 range, which then gives you a large spread of anywhere from 4 to 6K net on just one property. And this is why it's very hot right now. But people who haven't been in the lab with individuals like myself, like Jesse Vasquez and Dr. Rachel Gainsborough and Noble Crawford, don't have the foundations and don't know exactly where to start. And therefore, this is why I'm giving you guys a blueprint, the MTRR insurance blueprint. Go to the website, experimentrealestate.com, and get yourself a blueprint to completely change, or at least have a plan B if you're a short-term rental operator looking to maximize your occupancy and profitability. We'll see you on the other side. Well, if you guessed it right. It's being pet friendly. So there's not a lot of operators who want to be pet friendly, ourselves included. Initially, we didn't want to deal with it because we simply didn't understand the value and the opportunity, or the lack thereof, inventory available. When you make your home pet friendly in this marketplace, you are now cut the market, or the pool of inventory, in half. When you are not pet friendly, you will be excluded at a 50% rate, which is crazy to me. So imagine I'm looking for availability, 12-month leases. Okay, that's one obstacle. Then I'm looking for a furnished accommodation and I find one. Great. I'm excited as a relocation specialist. Oh, but guess what? They're unavailable. Now, if I do find one that's available, 50% of them are not pet friendly. That right there is the criteria that helps you then define which kind of asset, property centric asset, am I going to go for. Now, here's the icing on the cake, the unit mix, right? 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. Our sweet spot is 4 bedrooms, and there's data that supports that. This past quarter, I was in San Diego with Brian Payne, founder of Furnished Finder. And we were talking, and I told him, like, we want the data. And so he gave us the data. He actually gave us a special slide. And you know what it showed? That 4-bedroom plus homes had what he calls the Gucci effect. Because there's not a lot of this inventory on the marketplace. There is lack of supply. And when I'm trying to relocate a family of 4, a family of 5, essentially a large family is what I'm saying. When there isn't availability for 12-month due to the 12-month lease obstacle, when there isn't availability in the marketplace, when homeowners and operators are not making their homes pet friendly, and when I do buy a home or invest in a home or manage a home or arbitrage a home that's 4-bedroom plus, guess what? I will be the only property left, or few of many left over in that search. And that is how I land consistently contracts over and over, by properly being optimized, right? And being optimized is the opportunity. I always say that I cannot sit here and look at you or hear me say that I will guarantee you a midterm rental insurance contract. I cannot do that. But what I can guarantee is that you can also make your property, I can guarantee that you can fully optimize it so that you can have the best chance to learn these contracts over and over again. And that's the difference between asking the question of which market is best for MTRs. The answer is every market is best for MTRs. You just got to find the right asset type. And then ideally, what we like to be in a market that's a strong short-term rental market as well, and that doesn't have any limitations or regulations around short-term rentals, because then you have the opportunity to run a hybrid model, which is the equivalent of having two listings for one property. Now, with that said, whenever someone asks the question, which market is best for MTRs, you're not fully equipped and educated to understand how they or you should be reframing that question internally, because these insurance claims or the need to relocate a displaced family is happening all over the nation on a daily/hourly basis. And it is your job, your duty, and obligation to make sure that when something hits the fan, when an opportunity rises, that you are going to come up in that search and be fully optimized to be able to serve a family. Now, with that said, if you're trying to be part of our network, um, I'm very excited that we are going to be launching a Midterm rental insurance network where your property can be advertised, where many of the relocation specialists are going. So that is coming soon. Make sure you stay tuned. And until then, we'll make a big announcement, especially to my experimenters out there who go ahead and get the experiment blueprint. So you can get that at um, not the experiment blueprint, I apologize, the MTR insurance blueprint. Because once we launch and make that announcement, I'm going to announce it to my list of individuals who are diehard / committed practitioners in the lab like myself. So make sure, if you haven't gotten already, if you're listening to this episode, make sure that you get the Midterm rental insurance blueprint at experimentrealestate.com/hashtag. You know what? I'm going to make sure I don't butcher this, because I've butchered it many times, even on my own. I'm going to make sure that you go to the website. And also get this, if you're on my Instagram, and you're on, you follow me on Instagram, follow me on the Real Estate Experiment, you can click the link tree as well. It'll link directly to it, because I recently had the team update it. And you want to do experimentrealestate.com/hashtag blueprint. Okay, that's experimentrealestate.com/hashtag blueprint. You'll see me there. Grab your Midterm rental insurance blueprint. The reason we want to grab that, it talks about how to operate. Importantly, had a little freeze there. Most importantly, it's I do communicate and give value and on a lot of the insider tips that I'm discovering as I'm having these conversations with these relocation specialists, these conversations with these adjusters. I know last episode we even had, or one of the 2 episodes ago, we had Andy, our public adjuster, come speak to us about the insights of the industry. So I want my goal is to continue to educate you as much as possible on the opportunity that has completely changed all of our experiments here in this lab, and I want you to experience the exact same effect. Why? Well, the incentive is, if I can help as many homeowners get to these deals as a collective, I also have the full incentive to be able to then pitch us as a group towards these insurance companies, so that they know us as a group of individuals who will always be there to serve them, which means, again, the biggest number one goal is for me to serve as many homeowners so that they can have increased occupancy and high profitability, while helping as many displaced families here in the nationwide. So with that said, continue to experiment on. Make sure you hit the follow if you're following me on Instagram. And if you feel that this can truly benefit someone else who's listening, A, share it with them, and B, Drop it in the reviews so we know. That helps us tremendously. The show's been going super strong thanks to my team and thanks to your support. So it means a lot being able to support the show. We don't charge a fee, but we will do guarantees to continue to give free gems in the lab for you to benefit from in your experiments. And on that note, just like that, we are out. Experiment Nation, podcasting has changed the way we operate as real estate investors ourselves, and it can do the same for you. Podcasting has been the source of the masterclasses that we get thanks to the world-class real estate investors and practitioners and specialists that come into the lab from all realms, from short-term rentals to midterm rentals to real estate syndications to even software as a service. Owners, founders, entrepreneurs have helped enrich our experiments by giving us the education, helping us build a network, and lastly, and most importantly, a brand association to open up multiple doors for our respective businesses. If you understand the power that podcasting can have and you know that you need one for your brand, please, you can rely on our team. Investedtalent.com is my team and the team that helps this podcast, the Real Estate Experiment, become the fruition each and every single week to educate my community, build relationships on the air, and continue to build our brand. If you know that you need to do the same for your brand and you haven't pulled the trigger yet, maybe because you don't know how, our company, investedtalent.com, does the end-to-end from the time that you record to the time that it is published to even repurposing content on multiple social media platforms. That's what my team can do for you. Simply go to investedtalent.com and book a discovery call to see how my team can help you launch your podcast.